Is that better? I took the Wi-Fi off, so.
Oh, they can't even see my shirt. What's the point? That's fine. Okay, no, they don't have to see my shirt. I was just being funny. What is up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
Good morning.
Trying to get this Wi-Fi straight. What's up, everybody?
This one lock.
How's everybody doing? We're going to be talking today about before marriage, wants versus needs. Before marriage, wants versus needs.
Always touching something. Talking about me.
I was trying to make sure we have a good angle.
Oh. Well, your big head's in the way, so I guess it's angle.
While I'm fixing this, you could be saying something to the camera. You could be engaging the audience. Come on. This is a team effort.
Oh, you see how
Hey,
he's treating
Instagram
me?
Live.
You see this?
Hey, Facebook Live.
You see this? This is what I have to deal with.
I treat it with love and respect.
I have to deal with this all day, every day. So, welcome, guys. Hi. So, I have a little... So, I hit my head not once, but twice in the past day. And, yeah. I have 2 knots on the side of my head right now. You can't see them, but it's one right here, one over here. And, yeah. Talking about headache. They see you in the background. Talking about headache. We don't got no headaches over here.
Tell them how you hit your head.
Okay, so first of all, my lovely husband wanted to put the window...
No. 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 No.
You told me to tell my story, okay? And this is my story.
Your story should be the truth.
This is my story.
Tell the truth.
This is my... Okay, so I wanted to put the windows up because somebody was cooking in the air fryer and it was getting in my nose and I didn't like it in my nose and the smell of it was just in my nose. And I wanted to
real quick, in her mind, she overdoes this whole smell thing. Like
whatever.
She exaggerates.
You don't even do you be smelling the trash? Let's not even talk about
Just
this.
over exaggerates stuff.
Anyway,
that's how she got her head hit.
Is this my story or your story?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
That's how she got her head hit.
Okay, so I was telling the story, right? I mean, not telling the story. So so the windows were up and the blinds were up. And for some reason, somebody done nigger rigged the blinds. So the way our blinds are set up, it has like a little like strip at the top. And when I was pulling the string down, that little strip thick bar at the top, for some odd reason, fell down on my head. And it didn't fall down just like normal fall down, like blue fall down. That thing was like, didn't it fall down like that? And guess what? Somebody didn't even come to save me, rescue me, or say, you good or nothing. He just let it tumble on me like 5 times before that even happened. So that was number 1. See my scarf coming off because it got me shaking my head like a black girl. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then, so that fell down and hit me right here. So, at the end of the night, what had happened was... At the end of the night...
What was that?
You coughed. So, at the end of the night, I was... so, I had the vaporizer on, and my vaporizer was leaking, and it leaked all on the carpet. Of course, it did. And it was broken, so it was leaking. So I had a towel down there so that I can lift up, get all the water off the towel. So the towel dried, everything was dry. And when I went under there to pick the towel up, it was under the counter with the couch, and this is the counter, this is the couch. This is me in between there. So when I went under, I lift up, and I hit my freaking head on this side. on the corner of the counter. And I was just like, you know what? We're not going to do this today. I said, you know what? I went upstairs the rest of the night because I was mad at myself because I was just over it. Like, just over the day, just hitting myself. So I got a headache from being hit in the head or hitting myself in the head like 3 times. Twice.
So here is the other side of it. So the backstory is this. Zedoria rushes to do everything.
No, not everything.
Zedoria rushes to do everything.
Do you need some warm water or something?
I'm good. Zedoria rushes to do everything. And I always tell Zedoria. Now, she gets mad every single time.
Don't shake your head at me, James. See?
But I always tell her every single time, slow down. Now, she gets mad and she gets frustrated with me and she'll snap at me. But I try to do it because I care, right?
Do you?
And I always tell her, take your time. Slow down. You don't have to do everything full speed. It's okay. Just slow down.
Well, I used to work for fast food for 11 years of my life. Well, 7 years.
Your past is your prison.
So exactly. So I'm used to moving that fast.
You can't use that excuse no more. So
I'm not gonna say that on camera.
So watch this, right?
He used to be in a snail.
So here is the thing, right? When she hit her head the first time, that was an accident.
Yeah, it was an accident.
That was a legit, she was trying to do too much. The reason why she hit her head
the first time
is because she wanted to open the windows, okay? Because of the smell in the house. If she don't never open the window because of a smell in the house, she wouldn't have ever hit her head in the first place.
We should have been opening the windows earlier than that.
Wait. So that's the first thing. She wanted to open the windows. Cool. Now when it's time to close the windows, the thing falls off. It ain't her fault, except, the fact that she shouldn't open it in the first place. But that's, like I said before, The thing fell on her head. Cool. Now, in all of my time of living in this house, dealing with that window, I have never knocked off the top of the window blind.
It's been 2 years, Marlon, so what you expect?
All I'm saying is I've never done that.
What are you
so
saying?
just let that be known. The next thing is this.
Of course you never did it because you the one who probably set it up like that for it to hit on my head because you just let it hit me.
So what happened after that was...
What happened was...
She grabbed the towels out the bathroom. And then what she tried to do was duck down at the same time, grab a towel without paying attention to what was above her. And she came up too fast and hit her head on the counter. Now, if she had just took her time and kneeled down, grabbed the towel, slid back a little bit, then stood up slowly and carefully.
Who does that?
She would not have hit her head.
Whatever, because anybody would have did that.
I just wanted to be
Y'all see
known.
how he's trying to be soft and subtle.
I just wanted to be known that this was preventable.
No, it wasn't.
Let's get on with the topic because this is why they came to
Is it? Yeah. Or are they listening to our story that you telling?
Moral of the story is take your time.
Right.
You won't hit your head.
Look.
Hey, Ebony. What up, Ebony? What up, James?
Hi, sister.
What's up, everybody?
Tell him to tell me, stop telling me to slow down.
So let's get into the topic.
Slow down. And don't you say I need to slow down because I don't need to slow down.
She do need to slow down.
No. You like my shirt? Shout out to our CEO of Evolution Dance Company. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Oh,
I thought you was about to be finished. I tried to time it perfectly. Shout out to my sister-in-law.
Ebony Blanton.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Shout out the company.
Oh, her company. Evolution Dance Company. You can't see it because it's backwards, but you can see it. You know what I'm saying? She's strong with those females.
If you're in Richmond, Virginia, go check it out. Evolution Dance Company.
Yeah, what he said.
So, our topic tonight...
Hey, Georgia girl.
Our topic tonight is...
Say hi to Georgia. She said hi.
Hey, Georgia. Our topic tonight is, before marriage,
I'm viewing
knowing your wants...
Just adjust the camera. Just turn this camera that way.
But we would have to... Let's do this. Like this?
Yes.
That better?
Mm-hmm.
That better? IG Live, is that good like that?
Kim.
There we go. So boom, boom, boom. So, oops. So look, our topic tonight, before marriage, knowing your wants and your needs. Now, why is this a very important subject?
Why is this a very important subject?
I think it's a very important subject because
I don't.
it goes
I'm just kidding.
it goes along with what I feel is very important. Something that is untalked about in the relationship community, right? Mm-hmm. We always talk about what we want and what we need, but we never talk about it in relation to before marriage. Mm-hmm. And so I believe that a high percentage of relationships don't make it to marriage, and a high percentage of marriages fail because people did not do the due diligence of determining what they want versus what they need before they got into the marriage. And so I believe it's important that you do that assessment. You cannot get so caught up in wanting to be with somebody or wanting to be in a relationship or wanting to have a wedding so bad that you lose sight of the value in knowing what you want versus what you need. Mm-hmm. Now, to take it a step further, I believe that a person has to know what they need before marriage versus what they want.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people jump into focusing on what they want and what they want and what they want and what they want in a relationship, in a marriage. And you really need to start doing the due diligence of what you need and really discussing those things.
Oh, you want me to talk?
Oh, I thought you was about to say something.
No. Stop doing that to me.
All right, so what I believe is that if we have more conversations about knowing what we need, knowing what we need. I mean, you could jump in
Can you just breathe?
I'm trying.
I don't know what you're gonna say. I'm supposed to read your mind.
We could. So I believe I believe it's very important that my breath don't stink. I believe.
How do you know? You don't be smelling.
I believe it's very important that we really have this conversation about knowing what we need before we jump inside of a marriage.
Yes, this is true.
So let's have this conversation.
Okay, let's talk.
Most people are focusing on what they want.
Yeah.
In a relationship. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Why is that?
Because what you want is what you want. You know, what you need, I mean, you need oxygen, but you don't really see it. You don't really see that you need it until it's gone, type of thing. That's a good analogy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
You know, a lot of us think that what we really need, we can't physically touch it. Sometimes we look at it and we're like, it's a struggle to see the need versus what you want. Because sometimes we take what we think or what we want because it's put in front of our faces, and we already I see it. We already know what it looks like to be that way.
Yeah. And because I'm using my phone, I have Z read the comments and we'll comment off that. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. For example, when we examine relationships and when we examine marriage, more in particular, because from our belief system, God doesn't honor relationships. He honors marriage. Everything else is a friendship or a brotherhood or a sisterhood. And so what I want us to understand is this. We have to start taking a better assessment of what we need, okay? Because what you need is so much more important than what you want. And I know that's clear. I know that sounds tough to hear, but you need to be more focused on what you need rather than what you want.
So Georgia says you have to know your love language, and Mia says what you need is not always it's always want that it's a struggle for me in these days dating streets. And because it's naturally selfish, not in a bad way. And
let's talk about let's talk about what Sasha said, right?
Why is it not?
It is because it's naturally selfish, not in a bad way. Agreed. When relationship education is something that we are really relationship education is something that's really important. Okay. The less educated we are on relationships, the more we're going to duplicate patterns, bad patterns at that. And so when it comes to relationships, pride is one of our biggest issues, okay? Here's why. Because nobody wants people in our relationship business.
Yeah.
But see, here's the danger in that. You need the right people in your relationship business. You need the right people in your marriage business. Why? Because at the end of the day, you need people that can help you educate yourself consistently and make sure you're focusing on the right things and the right needs, the right wants, etc., etc. Because there are good wants and there are specific needs. But before I go deeper to that, let me say this. It's important that we understand what's happening in our generation and in our culture. The further we get into our generation, where we are now, is we're being fed all of what we want. And we're not really having enough conversation about what we need. So let's talk about this. What are some of the things that you knew you needed going into a marriage?
Security.
Okay. Oh, I remember that conversation.
Yes, security.
I remember that conversation like it was yesterday.
Why? I mean,
Yeah. Our producer just gonna let us just choke until there ain't nothing left.
do we need water? Water on the set?
Water on the set.
Dang. What I say? Oh, security. That's what I needed.
Yes.
Needed. Security. I said, what did I say? I need affection? I don't remember.
Affection.
Yeah, I need affection. I need security. I need yeah, that's all I can think of right now. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
So one of the things that she said, we both need water.
She got a thing of ice with no water.
Yeah, I know. And Zedoria got a whole cup of ice with no water in it.
First of all, it does have water in it.
So one of the things she talked about in our conversations before marriage was she needed security. And she also said that she needed somebody, she's not going to remember this probably, but I remember her telling me that she needed somebody that was going to look out for her.
Oh, yeah.
Because she don't pay attention.
Like protection.
Protection.
Like protection.
Tell them why.
I'm dead sometimes.
Yeah, she can be very blonde
So,
and very dense.
Excuse me?
We just having a conversation. Come on.
Okay. First of all, okay, so I said that because sometimes I do be like in la la land. So somebody that's like more focused and aware of their surroundings, that's what I need, somebody that's not going to be in la la land with me, you know, type of thing. So that's what I was saying. Yeah.
So, and what she recognized was, but see, that was the emphasis in us before we got married. We had a lot of conversations about what we needed. Because truth be told, especially on her side, I wasn't a lot of what she wanted. And certain things about her wasn't necessarily what I wanted.
Thank you, James. Where were you when I bumped my head? Exactly.
I was right beside her, actually.
Exactly. Twice. Both of the times that I bumped my head.
But keep in mind, so TV timeout. Now keep in mind, she gets upset when I tell her, slow down, take your time, be careful. She gets mad and snappy. So I say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. And I don't say anything. But then when stuff like that happens, I can't say I told you so. I just have to sit back and just watch the tears come down her eyes and be hurt because she's hurt.
My ninja, whatever. Are you going to put a fake cry out on here? Really? Really? Y'all see this fool?
Getting choked up. I need some water. Commercial break.
He can't even fake it. Stop, because you make
Now I'm back. So now, what we have to understand is this, right? Sasha said something else that was very important.
I'm actually selfish in a bad way.
Yeah, Sasha, great point. She's been married 10 years, right? And a lot of what you want and need changes. So even after marriage, you know, even in our conversations, we have to have more conversations, and all marriages should do this, to have conversations about what you need today. Why you ain't put no ice
on my head?
True.
Still haven't got any ice.
We need to have more conversations, right?
Conversations.
About what we need currently, because they do change. Tyrell asks, going into marriage, should you be selfish or selfless? Going into a marriage, you have to become selfless. Selfless. You have to.
Less of yourself. Okay.
Yes, that's good, Amir.
Yeah, yep. That's true. I mean, not true, but I mean, that's true for you, but I understand.
Yeah. So James said, what you want makes you happy now. This is a good point. Okay.
He even finished his whole thing yet.
Because this is a good. All right. James, shout out to my brother James, right?
Brother-in-law. Today.
Brother-in-law.
Until.
So watch this. He said, what you want makes you happy now. Can we just take a moment to soak that statement in? When you focus on what you want, you will be happy for the moment. You will be happy in that time frame. But a lot of people are very short-sighted when it comes to relationships. For example, when you're in high school or after high school, you're going after what appeals to you naturally, right? The looks, maybe the car, the job, the uniform, whatever it may be. But then and all of us have been in a relationship like this. You've been in a relationship where it's like as it's going on, you're realizing that you need more, or you want more out of it, or that the person is more shallow than you expected, or the person is not growing, or the person is not really where you want them to be, and you're developing, you're maturing, and it's like the other person isn't. And it's like you realize, dang, like what I wanted was cool. Like, cool, I wanted the person with the Jordans and the you know, the car. And
I wanted a thug.
Right, the thug, you know what I'm saying? It's like...
That's because he protect me, you know what I'm saying?
But
then...
As you grow, you recognize that...
I don't need no thug
Now, here's where our company comes in, right? Forever Love.
I was going to say, who company?
Forever Love, our company.
I got it.
Forever Love is a company about relationship education. And what we try to do is, in our company, is this. We try to put a lot of emphasis on educating people at a young age, in their teens and up, the things that we've learned that don't get taught or handed down. Because a lot of times, if we were to be honest, a lot of our aunts and uncles, they can't hand down relationship advice. They hand down bitterness. They hand down terrible, experiences and all types of stuff. But it's like, we're the generation to where we could take really good information, package it, channel it so people can really grow and learn from it. And one of the things in our relationship education company is what we try to focus on is that you need to learn how to decipher young what you need. Now, you might not know it young, but if you get yourself in the mindset young to say, hey, okay, as I grow, I'm going to change. So let me not make temporary decisions based on what I want right now. Yeah. But let me start thinking about and learning what I'm going to need as I grow as a woman, as I grow as a man, as I grow as an individual. For example, if you're an entrepreneur and you're 21, you need to focus your mind to think about what you need in a marriage 5 years from now. You can't be thinking short term, right? So your relationship decisions can't be short term. Your relationship decisions have to be not just short term, but intermediate and long term.
You gonna finish with this statement or no? Sorry, we're reading the comments.
Yeah, and people don't want to wait. Yup, that's very true.
Hi, Sarah.
Jump on in, Z. I'm gonna take a sip of water.
I wasn't listening. But yeah, what he was saying though, like whatever he was saying, I would say ditto to that. whatever I was focused
Whatever, is that not important?
on. Okay, yeah. So, can you just finish?
So, when we talk about our wants versus needs, one of the things I want us to also highlight is this. If you don't know what you need, chances are you don't know who you are.
If you don't know what you need, chances are
you don't know who you are. Knowing what you need is a byproduct of knowing who you are.
Yeah, because your wants change.
Your wants will change, but your needs also will change, right? Depending on
the situation or the time of your life.
Yep. So it's important that you understand this. Most people jump into relationships before they even know who they are.
Yeah.
Our culture taught us that. Our culture and our generation has taught us to just jump in relationships because we want companionship. That's bad advice and that's bad education. You don't get in a relationship because you're attracted to someone. You don't start dating someone because you're attracted to them.
Yeah, that's childish. That's something you do in high school.
But
a lot of people do it now.
Grown-ups do it.
Yeah, that's true. And it's like, why do you get into a relationship because you're attracted to someone, and that attraction sometimes it doesn't even last that long. So it's like now
people jump in relationships because they just want to be around somebody.
Yeah.
Or because they're lonely.
True that.
And too many adults.
I've met a lot of people like that. Like you just like, how do you have so much? Like you're in a relationship. Like how did you have so many relationships? Like aren't you with such and such? Wasn't you with such and such last week? Yeah, that didn't work out. Didn't you just meet such and such this week? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, it's just something about them. And, it's just a connection. And, it's not about age. It's not about time. It's not about where or who. It's just we connected at a level. I'm just, to the life of me, I would never understand that. Can you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Or can you guys try to explain to me? Because I might say that I met one or two people in my life that I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to be with you the rest of my life. And then I snapped out of it. But it's like, that was young me, not the grown me. Like when the grown me would have been like, but a lot of grown people, you huffing and puffing at me. A lot of grown people, you ever think about, like, I've noticed that a lot of people use being grown, making sense to know what you want. And knowing what you need. You ever heard that before?
No.
No? So say for instance, I don't want to put nobody out there, but
so don't say no names.
I know, but they might look at this later. Anyway, so I know some people. I know I've heard of a situation before where I know somebody has met the person, and they came together, and they've known each other probably for like a week or two, great conversation, but in the conversations they're like, oh man, I'm attracted to this individual, and I think I love them, and I'm like, huh? But there was like, they just had a connection that like no other. And to me, I was like, through a conversation, it's possible to have a connection with someone, but how is it possible to know that you can be with this person in a relationship in such a short amount of time?
Well, I think sometimes connection is so understand the culture and generation that we're in. Mm-hmm. It's all about vibes, energy, right? Connection.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't understand that everything happening natural is happening spiritual first.
Yeah.
So we believe in God. So we also believe in the devil. Mm-hmm. We also believe in Satan.
Yeah.
So we understand that sometimes all connections are good. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people are too quick to connect based on how they feel before actually getting to know somebody. But the thing is, when you're connecting with somebody so well, before you even know who you are, that's the dangerous part.
Okay, that's the part. There it is. So it's because they don't know who they are. So now
And they don't know why they're connected.
And why they're connected, exactly. But they, in their mind, they think that they know. They think that they already know. Like, they feel like they know themselves. They feel like they know who they are. And this is as grown adult person knows, they know what they need and they know what they want in a whole aspect. So to me, I'm like, but I really don't think you know, you know, because if you really knew, you would know to like, okay, well, I need to give this time. Not saying that people can't get married or get in a relationship in a matter of whatever time and it doesn't work. Like, I can't say that's impossible, but just knowing individuals, like, sometimes you're like, especially if you've been if you were, say, in an abusive relationship, or, you know, you just got a relationship and it was hurtful to you, and now you find somebody that did the opposite of what you were dealing with in your relationship or something like that, then to me, I would have been like, oh, I see the reason why this seems like it's perfect. So
I'm a firm believer. Now, don't quote me on this. In terms of, like, I understand that finding someone to trust is not as easy as 1, 2, 3.
yeah.
But I believe that it's important that people start finding someone to run all of their relationship decisions past.
Yeah.
Because people make such bad decisions relationally, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
And especially when you have kids. And it's like, when you have kids, you almost have an extra level of desperation to make it work with someone. Because you want your kids to have a home.
Yeah.
You want yourself to have a spouse. And we're in a generation, you know, and we'll talk about that another day, where it's like a lot of men are taking women through 10 years of a relationship before they even commit to them. And they're getting kids and they're having, it's a whole nother subject. But the thing is that I want people to understand that you have to humble yourself enough to know that you're bad at relationships. That you're bad at it.
Hey.
And that you don't make good relationship decisions. And that you need someone in your life that you can really go to, talk to, speak with, consult with about relationship decisions. Again, we come from a culture and we're in a generation where nobody wants anybody in their relationship business. But in your relationship business is where you're making some of the worst mistakes that you could ever possibly make. And not only that, you're lying to yourself, and that's how people are ending up in these bad situations, right? How many people do we see on a daily basis who are happy on Instagram or happily married just to find out, or in a relationship and happy just to find out that they broke up, just to find out that, oh, this was what really was going on, just to find out that, oh, we was in a relationship and we took good pictures together. It's like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
So until you really know what you want, and until you really know what you need, a relationship shouldn't even be on your radar. And again, as I said earlier, if you don't know what you need, you don't know who you are. That's point blank, period. And most people don't know what they need because most people don't know who they are. When you don't know who you are, you don't know what type of husband or wife you need. If I took one of the easiest examples in the world, what type of husband does Oprah need?
Somebody that know how to handle money, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I wouldn't say that because she got lawyers and accountants for that. But I know.
Gosh.
But from the outside looking in, I would say that she needs somebody who is secure. Someone who is not jealous.
Yeah.
Someone who is not envious. Somebody who is okay with being in the background. Somebody who is not ultra conservative or old school, where woman in the kitchen, right? So if you could follow the logic and the train of thought, you begin to realize that, okay, depending on who you are, that really determines what you need in a marriage or in your spouse. We got a comment?
Ryan says, how about if we believe in God, run it by the Holy Spirit? What
That's what
I would suggest to lean in, but still and feel led
Be
by.
still.
Do you want to read this or you want me to read this?
Just get my comment.
Oh, you be all right.
Zedoria is terrible. She ain't okay. Zedoria is handling the comments today, FYI, y'all.
Okay, first of all, the producer is getting jealous because we're reading Ryan's. Okay, so we're going to go to Ryan, and then this is what Ryan said, and then we'll go back to yours, Maurice, okay? But yes, he says, how about if you believe in God, run it by the Holy Spirit? If we believe in God and run it by the Holy Spirit, that would... Do you want to read this? That what I would suggest to lean in. Be still and feel led by the Holy Spirit.
So, no, great comment. Here's the reality. Most Christians don't care what God got to say about their relationship.
Yeah.
Most Christians are going to say that they are following God in their relationship, and most are not.
And then they ask for a sign, but the sign be something cliche or whatever, and then it's not really what God said. Or they ignore the real signs for real.
See, here's the struggle for a lot of people when it comes to God in their relationships. The difficulty, we almost done. She toughening out, y'all. The difficulty is this, is that most people want a companion so bad that they'll fake their talk with God about it. And what I mean by that is this. They'll pray on the relationship instead of saying, God, is this person somebody that I should pursue something with? They'll take any sign as a yes. Any sign.
Any sign.
I mean, literally any sign. But here's what's funny, just to take it a little bit step further. Believers will pray to God about a person, and it's like they don't really have to. If you are consulting God and the Holy Spirit about a relationship, and somebody does not believe in Jesus, you don't have to consult God about that. You don't have to, because you're already unequally yoked. You don't have to consult God, but you will because you want companionship really, really bad. And you'll ignore the fact that they don't know God or believe in Jesus. People will ignore that. And that's a whole nother conversation. But those who are believers, you should seek the Holy Spirit about someone you're dating or someone that you desire to, pursue a future with.
Maurice says, what's worse is when you jump from person to person, you begin to take on different people's personality.
Yes. I think people underestimate soul ties. I think people underestimate soul ties to the point, cut that light on.
I tried to.
When you jump from person to person, as Z was mentioning earlier, when you jump from person to person, most people are impressioned on, right? And so what happens is you start to take on that person's character in a lot of ways. You start to take on little nuances about that person that you don't recognize. How they talk, how they walk, how they interact, how they think, their belief systems, and things of that nature. So it's important that we understand that jumping from person to person is very dangerous. There is a process by which you should pursue marriage. And that process, I don't want to get into it at this moment, but that's a process that you have to take very serious. It's a process that can't be taken lightly. And so as we wrap up this session tonight, we don't want to be on here too long, but we want to talk about this subject and just kind of go back to the beginning of it, where we wanted to share that you have to know who you are before you jump in a relationship. And from that place, once you know who you are, you can determine what you need and what you want. Because what you need and what you want is so important in the success of your marriage. So for everybody who wants to get married, here's the first step. Figure out who you are. Step 2, figure out what you want and need. 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 Okay? Need. And learn to place your need above your want. Because your want is going to make you happy temporarily, in the moment. Mm-hmm. But your need is going to help you sustain a marriage and a life. Mm-hmm. Anything you want to add?
No, you summed it up.
Okay.
Pretty good.
So now I'm going to go get her some ice for her head. See y'all later.
That's it?
Yep.
Oh. Is there any questions that you guys
You
have?
did just hear me say that.
I did hear you, but I just wanted to make sure, like, it wasn't I feel like the people are needing more. I don't know. I was just asking. I was just making sure.
Go ahead.
That's all that we had, but
that's all I have for tonight.
That's all that you have for tonight?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have for tonight. I don't really have much. I'm too focused on my head right now. I'm sorry, y'all.
So what was the point of everything you just said?
I said it just to make sure the people were good.
Are y'all good?
Are y'all good? But no, I asked that because, I just look at, like, what you need is what you need. See, there you have a comment. Okay, question. Ryan says, I feel with the unequally yoked, although I do not have any romantic relationship experience. How about asking if they question?
Asking if they... what do you mean, Ryan? Expound a little bit. I feel with the unequally yoked, although I do not have any romantic experience. How about... Yeah, I think we didn't catch the end of the question.
Yeah, so just trying to read that comment that you have, Ryan. Oh, is that it? No, it's not good. Oh, okay. How about asking if the person willing to know God and can accept my relationship with Christ? So, how about asking if the person willing to know God and can accept my relationship with Christ? Yeah, that's a really good question. I would say just for in general in a relationship, that's one of the, like, for me, that was a deal breaker. If you didn't believe in God, then that's it. Cut it. But if the person is willing to learn God, if they're willing to want to build a relationship with God, if they're okay with the relationship that you have with God, then yeah, I don't see anything wrong with, giving it a try, giving it a whirl. But for me, it is a little thin line between that, because some people will actually say, hey, I am willing to be in this relationship and I am willing to give God a try, or whatever the case may be. And they could be lying to you just so that they can be in that relationship. So you want to be able to continue to ask questions and really pay attention to how they react and how they do things. Their actions basically in this situation will speak louder than their words. Being able to see if you're going to Bible study, if they want to do that, or if they're initiating something to do it, something like that. It's just little details that you have to pay attention to. And of course, ask the Holy Spirit, if their heart is in the right place, when it comes to that.
Yeah. As I was thinking about the question, not trying to be like anal about the question, but you said, how about asking if the person is willing to know God and if they can accept your relationship with Christ. You want them to be set on their own relationship as much as possible.
Yeah. Not
if they're willing to know God for the sake of their relationship. Because a lot of people get caught up in that. A lot of women get caught up in that. If you meet someone, let's just say your relationship with God is on 1,000. and you meet someone and their relationship with God is on 2. Most people would say, well, at least you believe in God. That's good enough for me. Because I'm a very transparent person. But the heart behind it is I'm desperate, so I'll accept that. And the problem is most people shouldn't accept that fact that their relationship is on 2 and yours on 1,000. So you want to make sure that you don't fall into a trap of accepting something for the sake of, not being lonely or not being by yourself or anything of that nature. So it is important to ask those types of questions, but make sure we don't settle for anything less than where you are or more.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Yep.
Sometimes I feel like my relationship with God is like on 2% and yours be on 1,000.
I think that's all of us though. Like sometimes, our relationship with God might feel like it's on 10 versus someone else's 1,000, 100 versus someone else's, 300. But I just think that's just part of the journey.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. And on that note, we shall see y'all later.
Bye. Love you guys. Right.
Oh,
yes.
man.
If y'all have any more questions, you can definitely inbox us at TheAndersons Life. Everything on our page. If you have not already, go ahead and like and share. If you want to tell anybody about us, let them know about this, because we're definitely here to help you with your relationship needs. And anything that you need, we definitely are open and honest for that. So yeah, go ahead and like our page so that you can get notifications, knowing when we go live. We're here every Sunday, 6 p.m. PST time, Pacific time. So check us next Sunday. We'll be talking about another relationship something. I don't know what it is, but the topic will be up there soon. If not, also we're on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We got some cute little pictures on there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We upgraded a little bit. So, go follow us if you're an Instagram lover as well, at Forever Love. And yeah. So is there anything else that you have to say, partner?
We out.
No, we out. See, I'm doing all the cordial stuff, because he be forgetting about that stuff. So, love y'all. All right, Instagram.
TryForeverLove.com.
Yes. Oh, yes. Check out our website. Definitely check out the website.
Remember, she's the one who does all the... Forgot our website.
Okay. That's what we're here. We're here to help each other. Is that not? Okay. Thank you. All right. Love you guys. See you next week.
See you later.